Hey, what's up, brothers? I'm making a video to show all the possible spawn locations for each armory data on every single operation to help you progress your weapons faster and to just have an access if you want to quickly master instead of using, say, block swords or something like that, or block hammers. This guide will be alongside the data slates in every single operation, and later I'll be making a video with all possible gene seed spawn locations to help with XP grind, and I'll be making a campaign data slate guide as well. So let's get into the video. Your very first data slate on Inferno will be once you reach this little crossroads area. You're going to turn around and walk back here into this little vault, and it will be in the back left. Moving on to the very first armory data on Inferno, you'll reach the encampment where you have to search for the codes, and you'll just turn and go up to the very top, and past one of the bodies is the armory data.
Schematics under our protection. I doubt an aerial scan would speed things along.
Second armory data is once you reach the generators, you will find that they're numbered 1 through 4. Generator 4 on your right is actually where the armory data spawns. It's behind it. So once you reach the actual thing, if you were to do the defense objective, it's right here. And then once you walk a little bit further and out, the possible spawn is right there. Dataslate 2, ignore the Carnifex that my brother and I are fighting, is right up here. Once you get to the, right before the elevator, you can go over to the left. You have it up or down. Up has the Dataslate right there on a table. You're seeing a little bit more of the level. Sorry for the pause there. Armory data is right underneath, right there. Now on to Decapitation. We are right at the very first area. Once you enter the church, you go up to the top, and before crossing the broken piece, you go over to the left, and you'll find the data slate. Moving on, right after leaving the church, you'll go across the little bridge. You'll drop down onto this platform, and underneath, following the left wall, is the data slate, or sorry, the armory data directly behind the crate. Here, whenever you're about to, when you drop down, there's some times enemies right there. Right here is where the armory data 2 will spawn. Armory data 3 spawns next to the elevator. Once you complete the blow up the tower, or the set the charges objective, it'll be right there. The armory data 4 is in the exact same spot to the right. Yep, right there. Whenever you walk in after completing the Hive Tyrant blowing up the bridge. Dataslate 2 is actually in the ventilation system. You're gonna see me wipe out a lot of enemies. I just want to show where you're walking up. Once these enemies are gone, it is directly in this little right area. Right there. Armory datas 5 and 6 are in these areas right here. And then on the exact opposite side of the room, you get to, I have some enemies. It will spawn right there. It's on the right in both rooms, or possible spawns. And that's where we wrap up Decapitation. Moving on to the next level. This one is very early in the level. You just walk over. If you're going to see it, that it's just to the left. That's Dataslate 1. And then walking a little bit further ahead, you drop down. And you're going to drop down again. And you're going to find the very first armory data.
More equipment here.
Up ahead, whenever you first encounter the occultists, you're going to go to the left. And cutting along the wall, the armory data will be over here by this statue.
Their patron's power wilts before that of the Emperor. And we are it.
Now moving on to once you have gotten past some of the cultists and you open up to this big courtyard area, going up and to the left, you'll find the Armory Data 3 spawn location right there. Now once you reach the elevator, if you just cut straight to the left, the Armory Data can spawn right there, 4th spawn location. This is once you've completed the elevator objective entirely and you're about to move on. Dataslate 2 is sitting right here on the right staircase. The final Armory Data spawn is in the boss fighting room. Sometimes this is blocked off due to the walls the way they spawn, but destroy the corresponding altar, go directly to the left, and the spawn is right there. Moving on to Reliquary. This one is at the very beginning of the level. You just go to the left and you'll see a statue. You'll go through a room, through the crack, it's right there. Armory Data 2 is just up ahead. You go down the mountain pass, and on the left you'll see this area. The third one is as soon as you encounter the Helldrake for the first time, if you cut hard left, there's a pass going down. And once you go down this pass, you will find a statue, and in front of the statue, or sorry, a brazier, and in front of the brazier is the possible Armory Data. It actually did spawn here for me. Now, at the end of the very first Helldrake encounter, it is on the right, a staircase leading to an underground area, where right here is where the other one could spawn.
Rally at coordinates.
Finally, the first data slate, when you first enter the tower from the first Helldrake again, it is in the room to the right, and then on the right again on the balcony. The final Armory Data spawn is at the last Helldrake encounter. You will drop down and... Yep, you will drop down and then you go directly to the right and you'll enter a little metal area, and at the end of the pass is the Armory Data. On to Fall. First Armory Data is at the very beginning. It's right there. Before you even get to too many enemies, it's almost at the very beginning of the level. The second possible spawn for the Armory Data is once you reach the hold passage until clear. It is directly to the right of the passage, and it actually did spawn for me here. It's right there.
Obtain weapon schematics. Equipment available.
Dataslate 1, you're going to see a lot of enemies. I just wanted to show the drop. And it is actually, once you drop down, if you just turn around and go straight back in the exact spot, you'll find Dataslate 1. Dataslate 2 is the next thing you'll encounter, and it's just on this little side piece of the tower. Then there's Dataslate 2. Armory Data 3 is actually found right here. It'll be right next to this dead body, if it does spawn here. Moving on to Ballistic Engine. At the final level, Armory Data 1 is at the end of the very first sandstorm area. It'll be spawned on the right side. Right there. Dataslate 1 is once you enter this little catacomb-like area, you'll find a room like this, and you'll find the Dataslate on the desk. Almost immediately after that, the second spawn for the Armory Data is right there, almost on the opposite side of this little maze.
Lockdown sector.
Armory Data 3 is in the second sandstorm area. It actually did spawn here for me. You'll just follow and go to these red boxes, and it'll be right behind the red box. Here's Dataslate 2. I was actually nearly falling asleep because this was recorded about 5 a.m. But as you're running along, you'll see it right there, right next to the tank. You can even see the little icon for where I can pick it up. And the final Armory Data, this mission, is right here, right before the elevator. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to keep an eye out for the Gene Seed video and the Campaign Dataslates, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
I do not wish to range too